All right. Good day, family. It's the time you've been waiting for. That's right. Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard, your resource and information show for people getting better with age. Well, let me tell you, this young lady, I had to pull her because let me say, she has been on roller skates for many, many, many months, traveling. She is a mother. She's a wife. She is a sports mom. She is a philanthropist. She is an advocate for so many people. And she is also the daughter of our own, my champion, the one and only Honorable Maureen Forte in East Hazel Crest. But let me tell you, we just came off a phenomenal convention that was at in New York with the National Action Network. And we'll tell you more about it. But everyone, stay tuned. Senior Talk is live. Tell your friends we're live here on Facebook, Senior Talk, YouTube on Senior Talk, LinkedIn, and on live stream on my website. Go to clairehubbard.org and click live stream. We'll be right back after this message. All right, family. God bless you. It is time for Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard. I am more than ecstatic for this interview. As mentioned, you are watching a live show, and I had the pleasure of meeting. Of course, I've heard of Alderman, the second ward Alderman in Calumet City, Monet S. Wilson, for many years, just digging in, getting it done. But I had the chance to meet her personally. And let me tell you, I'm so excited. We shut New York down. We did it. We shut it down. Let me tell you. So we had the pleasure, as I mentioned, of being at the National Action Network Convention for 2024 in New York. Sheraton Hotel was our host. There were thousands of people there. And I will tell you, if I could brag, I think the Chicago chapter was one of the most impactful. Let's not pull any way from anyone, but we're just saying we were able to be in the place at the right time on so many other occasions that made it more impactful for us. So, without further ado, welcome to Senior Talk, my sister friend. Alderman, she in a bunch of everything, y'all. I'm just so excited. But welcome to Senior Talk. How are you this beautiful day?
I am well and honored to be on your show.
We losing. Come back. Okay, say it again. We lost the audio for a hot minute.
Oh, you know what? I think I need because I am on my phone. So I'm just gonna tell everybody stop calling me. It's live.
It's right. That's right.
But I am well. I am honored to be on your show and I'm asking how are you?
I am well. I'm still in a New York state of mind, if you would say. There were so many impactful moments there. And let's first just introduce who you are as the alderman of the second ward in Calumet City. Go ahead and just do your intro, if you would, to our viewing and listening
Okay.
audience.
I am Alderwoman Monet S. Wilson. I am the first African American alderwoman in the history of the city of Calumet City. I am also the only sitting alderwoman right now on this council. And that's who I am in Calumet City. I got my start here through youth programming with my husband's non for profit, Tomorrow's Youth Foundation. Um, One of the first things he wanted to do was start a national youth football team because he saw so many young people just walking around, not having anything to do and not being engaged. Through that engagement of an activity, we reach the children, we assist their parents, we engage, empower, and encourage the folks here in Calumet City and the surrounding Southland.
So, what brought you to become the alderman? I mean, you just mentioned something that could be a full-time project in your life or assignment. So what brought the energy to say, you know what, let me take a whiz at this alderwoman position?
So actually, both our sons were born here and raised here in Calumet City. And we were actually, we had put money down on a new property outside of Illinois completely. We were leaving. And then I had learned that the sitting alderwoman, um, who had been alderwoman for over 20 plus years, had
Mm-hmm.
retired. And then they were going to replace her with someone else that was appointed. There was no questions asked to the residents. We had no input. And I said, you know what? I cannot leave something better than how I received it. So I'm going to go ahead and run for office. And I
Wow.
did.
And here's the deal. I'm so glad I chose this day. This is Black Women's History Month. It's featured on a YouTube Facebook page, but on a Facebook page on YouTube, it's a title for April being Black Women's History Month. So I'm glad you mentioned those accolades. But then I asked the question about you becoming an alderman because your mother, her civic engagement, I mean, it's long. And so
Through the roof.
you through
Yes.
the roof. So you took a plan of action on your own. And that's what I like about it. You created an element that you saw through her work and her steadfastness in it, but you created your own element. You didn't necessarily pattern after her, and you're your own woman in this field. So I think that is a great thing. So what happens? What's the alderman's duties? Because I'm curious. I mean, I know quite a few, but what are the duties of an alderwoman, if you would?
So our elected duty is to be the voice of the constituents who put us in office. We
Mm-hmm.
are also empowered and responsible for the financial matters of the city, or in my case, I'm in a city because of how many people we have here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have to do our due diligence to make sure that our tax paying dollar is not wasted, and that we have all of the essential tools and services that we pay for through our tax money. We
Mm-hmm.
pay a lot to live here in Calumet City. So I have a fantastic public works department. I don't pay to live in filth. They make sure that my ward is clean. They make sure that various things are operational. We do have some infrastructure issues. So that is those are things that we collectively as an elected body work on. Ordinances, resolutions to make sure that our community is safe and maintained.
Mm-hmm. Well, you are doing a great job. I know we talked over the time when we were in New York, and I can only tell you, we coming out there to Calumet City. Senior Talk is coming out because you love seniors like I do. We talked about so many experiences. And when I think about when you mention public works, it's important because a lot of people, or our elders, or as I call them, people getting better with age, they don't want to leave their communities that they've raised their families in. And so that's
Yes,
why you need people like yourself who have an empathy and to say, hey, I want to keep your home and keep you equipped with the things to maintain the lifestyle you created for your family and keep you here because it makes a difference and
absolutely.
it keeps it stronger. So we're going to dive into something else. Let me tell you, I just was over the top. We were in New York, and honey, they had so many conferences. I was going back to back. But one
Yes.
thing I want to play, and I do not own the rights to this, but this is just an excerpt when Mika Brzezinski was there for the women's luncheon. And then I want you to have your comments that you're going to hear from Reverend Al and from Joe as well. But this is just a snippet of what we want to hear. We're going to talk about our new positions. Girl, don't give it away, Claire, but everyone stay tuned. Check out this video, just a recap of Reverend Sharpton on Morning Joe talking about the National Action Network Convention. Everyone stay tuned.
Joe, Morning Joe conversation kind of continued a few blocks away in New York with you and Rev yesterday.
I'll tell you what, Rev, you had quite an event there yesterday, and you, of course, always the convener and the star of the show. But Mika Brzezinski was given an award. It was very moving. The whole entire thing was so moving.
No, Mika was awarded by the women of National Action Network, and it was very moving. Hundreds of women thanking her for raising on a global level their value. And she was moved. I think she underestimated the kind of emotion they had. Yeah. And then I think you underestimated your impact among this kind of community. We had a couple of thousand people in the room and had a fireside chat and talked about how our relationship evolved. And the way people cheered, I mean, I thought you were running for president or something.
No,
I mean,
no.
I've had presidents. In fact, the president's going to do a viral speech this afternoon at our conference. And I've had presidents there. They didn't get a better reception than you got yesterday. People need to really look online and see how they treated Joe Scarborough. I was a little jealous, to be honest.
I was not jealous at all. Not jealous at all. It was, you know, what I've heard about National Action Network through the years, and I tell you, Phil has told me about it for some time, how closely he's worked with it, is that you're always there. The organization's always there for the people who need it the most. I mean, I don't. Most people don't know that, but when you get off of this show, you know, you get on the phones and you're calling around and asking people what they need for help, how you can help an individual who's in trouble right now. Of course, these things that get on national news, these tragedies of young black men usually, but sometimes young white men, sometimes young Hispanic men, people see that, but they don't see everything that goes on day in and day out. You helping people with their rent, you just, again, helping when people need something.
Well, you can't, in my opinion, use victims as props. They are victims, but once the cameras are gone, you need to still be there. That's why we built an organization, not just me out there. And we've been able to do that. But also, as history, Joy Reid was there with her book on Medgar Evers later yesterday afternoon, and she was received well. Medgar Evers' assassination was what helped galvanize the March on Washington in 1963. Right. And I can go on and show where these tragedies become the turning point for changing social policy if you use it right. So my feeling is you must protect the families, the victims, but you also must change the policies and the laws so you don't continue to have these victims. You must do both. You can't just drop them and just go for whatever else you see as the next item.
Yeah, exactly. I turn that tragedy into promise. And of course, again, the President of the United States is going to be speaking at the National Action Network today.
Hey everyone, MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.
All right. So that was a synopsis of the experience. Let me ask you, what we were there from Tuesday through Saturday morning. The convention started on Wednesday and it ended on Saturday morning with the youth rally. What was that moment for you? I'm sure you've been before, but what was that moment was like, whew, I got work to do.
Let me just say, a time was had from early morning to late at night. And actually, as everyone was leaving, I extended my stay. Myself, as well as Catherine Galloway and my mother, we visited churches the next day. And fun fact, even though I grew up with my mother, who is a powerhouse civil rights history maker, and I grew up with Reverend Al Sharpton being in my home and being tangible, as well as Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. This was my first time actually attending Al's convention. So this was my first time being down there, and it was impactful. It was empowerful. It was necessary.
Oh, wow. Let me say this. I have the itinerary right here next to my desk. only because there were titles and there were so many impactful conversations. And I'm going to mention one. One was called, and it was for turning grief into action.
Yes.
And that was brought to you by persons who had lost their children
Yes.
to gun violence. And we know Reverend Sharpton was right on case with that. So let's lead into our next piece, and that is Whispers of Hope. It's coming up on Saturday.
Yes.
May the 4th. Let me tell y'all, don't play with me. And I want to share this. First of all, congratulations to my new TT, National Action Network Chicago, City of Chicago, South Suburban Executive President, Maureen Forte.
Yes.
Hey, Monet, woo!
Thank you.
Those congratulations. And then also,
yes, congratulations to you.
Yes, I'm going to be busy too. But here's where we are right now. We talked about the Selma Jubilee, and I put in the notes to those who are on Facebook about the Whispers of Hope. So let's talk about the Whispers of Hope. I do apologize. I thought it had it in our
that is fine. Thank you for mentioning it. So every year I've even had brunches for moms for Mother's Day, and we take the time to encourage those who are becoming new moms during Mother's Day or during the month of May. We console those people who have lost their moms over Mother's Day.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's lost in translation, moms who lost the person that made them a mom. And we have a lot of parents, not just moms, dads too, but because this is the Mother's Day month, I'm focusing on the moms. Next month, we're gonna focus on the dads. But they're grieving the loss of their children. And grief shows up differently daily. And it doesn't matter how long ago you lost your child, there's still that void there. And then you may have lost your child due to illness, gun violence, police violence. There may be unanswered questions. I have moments in my own life. I have two children, two boys, but I've been pregnant 12 times. So there's grief in every passing flutter and heartbeat that didn't come to fruition. So this is going to be a luncheon that provides a safe space for moms to discuss their children, their loved ones, to celebrate them. We're going to have activities, giveaways, phenomenal speakers. I am blessed to be working in partnership with Rabbi Michael Ben Joseph from the City of Chicago. We have National Action Network regional director from the Southeast region flying in from Atlanta. So it's going to be all hands on deck because moms matter.
Yes, moms matter. And the thing that is important to always know is grief has no timetable.
Absolutely.
It has no timetable. Just a couple days ago, I was in memory of my father who passed over 20 years ago. Just had my moment, and just had to reset myself and find out what my plan of action was. I think of two women that I know personally who lost their daughters both before the age of 30, not to gun violence, but they took action. One is going to cancer treatment centers and helping other families. They're making quilts, and they're also putting their face in front of what they mentioned, what they do, because that was the daughter's plan of action before she passed. And that project is called Project Kennedy. That's my girl. And so her family is ongoing and keeping her legacy alive and strong. And then I have a personal family member who lost their daughter about 2 years ago. And so we're doing acts of kindness. Just anything that you do of acts of kindness, just share it on this page in honor of her, because she was a kind heart and never complained in many things of that could be struggling. And through her medical situation, she never questioned. She never let us see her hurting. and she kept moving. And so it was just important that you have this day. So what can people expect? You are partnering with the woman only known as I call her the doc. That's my girl, Nyota Fix.
Yes.
Tell us what's going on, girl. Tell us what's going on.
Myself as well as Dr. Inyota Figs. Dr. Inyota Figs, Inyota T. Figs.
Yes.
She is the city clerk for the city of Calumet City. She is a phenom and a powerhouse, one of the most intelligent people that I know. Um, we we years ago created what is called Women of the Council because we are the only two women that sit on this council here in
Wow.
Calumet City. So we are partnering together to bring this about. We have some great sponsors just for you planning. I have to mention them because um, Paula Counts is donating the decorations for the event, and she has left no table unturned.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have Miss Kitty Gibson. She put together she's a registered nurse who put together some fantastic baskets to raffle off to the women. These baskets look like you would pay $100, $200 for them. We have some other sponsors who just donated money so we could purchase food through Chuck Wagon, who is a fraternity brother of my husband's, just
Mm-hmm.
so we could have a great day for the women who will be there. At the end of the day, after we remember those that we lost, and get some information on how we can grow and heal together, we're going to have a call to action. What I don't like moms that don't have any final answers to the passing or the deaths of their children.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end, we will have a call to action. If it's been gun violence, you haven't heard any, um, been given any information on the who, what's, and where's of how your child has passed, let us know. We will have our community activists who will be there to help you gauge that. Um, it's about the vision of we. If it hurts one, it's hurt too many. And
Yeah.
so we are moving differently. It is far too long. A lot of people say we have to do people over politics, but I'm meaning it. It's people over politics. We walking the walk and talking the talk.
So that's your tag. I was trying to remember that so much. The power. What is it? The vision of we.
The vision of we. Yes, the
Yes.
vision of we. In the
Yes.
second ward, we have the vision of we. If one person dreams it, believes it, achieves it, then we rally behind them. We want to see everyone successful. Friday, there is a young woman in my ward, Tyree Douglas. She is having a women empowerment evening. It's right here in town at the VFW. It starts at 7 o'clock with bull riding. And I'm coming on at 9 o'clock to open up the women empowerment sessions. It's just going to be good. It's co ed, so men are invited.
Yes.
Um,
And we appreciate that because we do need our men in support. Even if it's not your thing, if you can come and support, lend a hand or i.e. volunteer. Praise Jesus. If you can
yes.
volunteer, that'd be most
Yes.
helpful. So we are coming into a summer season that is very busy.
Very.
And so one of the things that I definitely want people to adhere to is using our city parks, events, and festivals to enjoy your family. I at one point, I'm gonna be honest, I was just like, I don't want to go outside because I was scared. But you can't be afraid in your community. You have to stand fast and be bold in it. So, what are you anticipating for the constituents of the second ward in Calumet City? Because I know a lot of things happen great out there. So tell us anything upcoming that you know about.
Well, so one thing that you said I have to piggyback on. Enjoy your parks. Calumet City and Burnham has one of the best park districts, the Calumet Memorial Park District. I brought my boys up in that park district. I still am bringing up my youngest in that park district. We are in that park district maybe 4 days out of the week.
Wow.
Um, Invest in yourself by partnering with the parks. They're going to have some music in the park days coming up. I'm planning more events in partnership with the Calumet Memorial Park District. So that will come up soon. Right now, our schedule is booked through May. I am because I have this new role. I am traveling and speaking on behalf of women and young girls. My mother is heavy in advocacy on preventing sex trafficking.
Yes.
So I've picked up the role as to what leads to it. And a lot of people like to label things as abuse, mental abuse, or bullying. I call it mental rape. And so I'm on a mental rape tour, helping young ladies know how to identify it, address it, and eradicate it. Because often we fall into that mental rape where we are profoundly led astray, profoundly abused. And sometimes that can lead to sex trafficking and domestic abuse.
That is the truth, the truth. So, what we're going to do, and I failed to do, is we're going to make sure that we get all of your handles, how people can reach you and support your efforts. I know I am all in. I mean, we just vibe so well. And I mean, your mother brings the right people together. I mean,
Yes,
I was so honored to be there for my first time as well. And I'm sure we'll be doing some traveling because we got work to do. And then
we
coming
do.
up soon, we're going to be talking with Catherine Galloway. Woo! She is a firecracker. We
She
were
is
all on
awesome.
roller skates. She is also one of the coordinators and planners for the Selma March, which will be this year. It'll be 2025. It's going to be a little bit early. Everybody, let me add this to the stage. Let me tell you, it is. Oh, that was the wrong year, so that's my fault. So I'll bring up the one for next year. But it's in the latter part of February, leading into March of 2025, and it's the 60th year.
The 60th.
We got some work to do. We got some work
Yes.
to do. So I know I had the pleasure of being a part of the delegation for 2023 with your mother. It was a whirlwind, and it was so impactful and just heartfelt. And you know, I don't want to get into the voting piece right now, but when people say and tell me they don't vote, I breathe life into them to see that they should, because we got the Democratic convention coming up in
Yeah.
in
August.
August. We got the major election, the general election in November.
Yes.
What is y'all
Yes.
saying? We got work to do, family. And I mean, just going across that bridge, Monet, I'm telling you, I felt like the elders that were walking in their Sunday best with their shoes on and they ties and shirts and dresses, and you just feel that pressure or that energy and that sacrifice. You feel it. Some people were crying going over the bridge, and I just don't take my vote lightly. That's why we have this here. Senior Votes Matter right behind me. We coming for you. We coming for you. But if you would be so kind, I will make sure as this broadcast is posted that we have all communication, email, however you want people to reach you in support of everything you've mentioned. Also, let me put up, because those who are viewing, you can purchase your tickets for Whispers of Hope at ticketfalcon.com /e/mom's love, or better yet, you can call our senior talk office at 312-428-6919, and we will get that information to you. Or if you would like a flyer, we will post it tomorrow on our website and in the e-blast. But what is your closing remarks? I'm sure you'll be back with us soon, but thank you so
Yes.
much, Alderwoman Monet S. Wilson from the Second Ward, Calumet City, Illinois. Thank you, thank you, thank
Yes.
you. What is your closing remark for us today?
So I just want to just say, just keep in the back of your mind, we all can only do what we can do and what we feel is best. But remember that if it hurts one, it's hurt too many. And sometimes we allow things to hurt someone else when it doesn't affect us. Just take a look back and see how a double-edged sword that cuts nothing is useless. So that's it.
That's it. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Well, let me tell you, everyone, you've been tuning in to another broadcast of Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard, your resource and information show for people getting better with age. Our co-host today was Alderwoman Monet S. Wilson from the 2nd Ward in the Calumet City, Illinois.
Yes.
Everyone, please remember, in complete darkness, we are all the same. It is only our knowledge and wisdom that separate us. Don't let your eyes deceive you. Thank you for joining us and making us a part of your day, and we will see you next time for Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard.